Hi, welcome back to the Modern Survival Horror Framework tutorial series. In this part, I want to talk about how you can change the default weapons in the framework to your own custom weapon with your unique mesh. So you can fully customize any weapon to fit the exact style of your game. Let's jump in and check out how it all works. Alright, the first thing you need to do is go to the weapon classes. We're going to open up the pistol class, since that's the first weapon we're going to replace. What we want to do here is simply replace the existing mesh with our own custom weapon mesh. I've imported this free weapon pack from Fab through the Epic Games launcher, and I'm going to show you exactly how to set everything up. So, let's bring up the pistol. The first thing I usually do is open the default pistol's skeleton asset. Inside it, you'll notice that we have a few sockets. The first one is the ADS socket, which is mainly used for first-person mode, but since we're replacing the entire weapon, we need to take all of these sockets into account. Now, open the skeleton of your custom weapon and create the exact same socket with the exact same name. The location of the socket will depend on your weapon, so keep that in mind. For now though, I'm just going to copy and paste the location values and hope everything lines up correctly. If something looks off during gameplay, we can always tweak it later. So, I'm simply copying the socket name and the transform values. The name should always stay exactly the same, but the location may need some adjustments depending on your weapon. For this particular mesh though, copying the values works just fine. We also have another socket called laser. This socket needs to exist as well if you want your pistol to support the laser attachment. Again, I'm just copying the location and rotation values, and everything seems to line up pretty well with this particular weapon. Let's bring in the laser mesh. And, as you can see, it's almost in the exact same position as the default pistol, so I don't need to make any additional changes here. Next, we can replace the main mesh inside the pistol class with our custom mesh. The next thing we need is an image for our weapon. I usually take a screenshot of the mesh, edit it in an image editor, and create a transparent PNG. Then I assign that image inside the pistol data asset along with a static mesh version of the weapon. To create a static mesh from your skeletal mesh, Simply open the skeletal mesh and click on Make Static Mesh. At this point, the only thing left is the animations. Every weapon can have its own unique reload and firing animations, and this new pistol is no exception. You can also change the character animations if you have custom ones for your weapon. One thing I'd like to mention is that, if you want really good-looking reload and firing animations for your new custom weapon, it's highly recommended to have both custom character animations and custom weapon animations. Otherwise, the final result may not look quite right. The built-in weapons and animations are intended as placeholder content and examples. While you can absolutely use them as a starting point, for the best visual quality, you'll eventually want to replace them with your own high-quality weapon and animation assets. As for the character animations, it looks like the current ones work pretty well with this weapon, so I don't need to change them. But if your weapon has a unique reload or firing style, you'll probably want to replace those animations too. And that's it. Our custom pistol is now fully set up and ready to use in-game. Let's test it out. As you can see, everything is working perfectly. However, during the reload animation, you'll notice one small issue. The weapon's reload animation doesn't match the character's hand animation. That's because the magazine on this weapon is positioned differently from the default pistol. The default pistol doesn't have this issue, because the animations were specifically made for it. For this weapon, we'd ideally need a custom character reload animation that grabs the magazine from the correct position. As a temporary fix, I'm going to hide the magazine animation on the weapon itself. Of course, if you have proper reload animations for your custom weapon, you won't need to do this at all. But if you don't, you can simply select the magazine bone and set its scale to 0 on all 3 axes. That will effectively hide the magazine animation and avoid this visual issue. Now the reload looks much better, and we no longer get that awkward visual effect. And finally, if you don't want your pistol to use a laser at all, it's super simple. Just open the pistol class and disable the Use Laser option. Once you uncheck it, the pistol will work normally without the laser attachment. Now that we've replaced the pistol and everything looks good in third person, let's see how it looks in first person. I'm going to open the game instance, enable the FPS option, and load the overview FP map. As you probably know, in the modern survival horror framework, the first-person and third-person modes are completely separate, including their maps. Let's test our new pistol and see if it looks good in first person too. If something doesn't look right, we can always adjust the sockets and make some additional tweaks. Looks like everything is working perfectly here. As you can see, Our weapon looks great in first person as well. Of course, you can make any adjustments you need depending on your specific weapon. Now let's switch back to third person and continue the tutorial there. The next weapon we're going to replace is the rifle. I'm using both a pistol and a rifle in this tutorial because, with the rifle, we'll probably need to tweak socket or animations as well, and I want to show you how to do that. We're basically going to repeat the exact same process that we used for the pistol. It's basically the same issue we had with the pistol. Since we don't have a custom reload animation for this specific weapon, we could simply hide the magazine. As I mentioned earlier with the pistol, for the reload to look right, the character reload animation and the weapon reload animation should be properly matched. For this example, I'll just show you how you can quickly tweak the current sockets and animations if needed. I've actually decided to replace the reload animation and use a different one here. Of course, you can use whatever animations you have available. You can also purchase high-quality weapon and animation packs from the Epic Marketplace and use those instead. That will give you much better-looking results for your custom weapons. If you want to inspect or tweak your reload animation, or any other animations such as your aiming animations, simply open the main core blueprint and temporarily disable the Stop Aim branch. This will allow you to aim and then eject from the character so you can freely inspect how your new weapon looks in the character's hands. As you can see, our weapon has a little bit of an offset right now, and this makes it much easier to apply any adjustments we need, either to the sockets or to the animations themselves. I would recommend checking the sockets first. If adjusting the sockets doesn't completely solve the issue, then you can go ahead and tweak the animations as well. And as you can see, everything is working good now. And that's it for this part of the tutorial. In the next tutorial, we'll be covering the other systems and features of the framework. See you in the next one.